Hello and welcome to the 50 days in Minecraft Deepwoken challenge. Today, I set out to finish what I once started. In my previous video, I failed to kill the Ender Dragon in this mod due to its infinite end crystals and my limited damage. However, today was different. I set myself the challenge of defeating the Ender Dragon this time, once and for all, whilst also exploring everything else this mod has to offer. If you didn't see my previous video on this mod, then don't worry, as this is a fresh new world, and I'll try my best to explain everything as it goes along. But let's get straight into day one. Alright, so we're starting on a new world. That means I gotta choose a new race. And you already know I'm not picking Vesperian after last time. Ooh, Adret sounds good. Hang on. Increased XP gain and higher base reputation with villagers? Yeah, let's pick Adret. That sounds good. So with my race chosen, I immediately set off, as this time I had more experience with the mod and knew what I was doing. I searched around spawn to see if there were any structures, and found a ruined portal and a shipwreck, which had a buried treasure right next to it, containing my first spell scroll, which I knew how to use this time, so I created a spell book, and equipped my first mantra. Okay, so last time I was doing this wrong, I was just using the spell scroll on its own. What you're meant to do is you make a spell book, then you make this table thingy, and you put the spell book in the table thingy, then you put the spell scroll in the book, and then you close it, and then you get the spell. Okay. That made no sense, but it worked. I've got it. Alright, that's cool. Come on. After a little more searching, I found this dungeon, which had some pretty good loot, and was absolutely filled with zombies. There were so many zombies that I'd already killed enough monsters to have the potential to draw out my resonance, which was immediately popped by the literal spawn of Satan himself, a corrupt baby zombie. No way I've got my resonance already. What the? No, what the? Who shot me? What the hell? If you don't know, corrupt mobs are strengthened versions of the regular mobs, which have 6 times the damage. So if you thought a baby zombie was bad enough already, think again. I had full iron armor, and this thing still 2-shot me. But despite almost dying twice, I still kept looting the structure, which I'm very glad I did, because I found the Blood Step Scroll, which allowed me to teleport 15 blocks every 5 seconds, which was super useful. Since I'd unlocked my resonance already, I had the coordinates for the Shrine of Creation. In this mod, you get song fragments from defeating enemies based on how strong they are, and you can use these song fragments at the Shrine of Creation to make wishes, and these wishes are ridiculously powerful, as you'll see later. So I wanted to make my base as close to the shrine as possible, and luckily for me, a village had spawned less than 100 blocks away from the shrine, making it the perfect place for me to set up. No way, there's a village here too. That's so lucky. I need to get some trading done. I've got permanent hero at the village. Yeah, I'm definitely setting my house up here. What? Alright, first thing I'm wishing for is a new resonance. Skeleton key sucks ass. Let's see what we get. Ooh, payback. Okay, that could be cool. Alright, I'm gonna start building my house. But trust me, I ain't no builder. Don't expect a masterpiece, okay? This is gonna look terrible, trust me. Okay, it's looking alright so far. Oh my god, this is ass. I spent so long making this cool entrance. Evidently, there's some absolute slop cube. Generational fall off. Oh my god. Yeah, so I spent a total of 6 days making my house, and it did not turn out how I expected. But any house is a house. I did not want to waste any more time on this. So I just left it looking like that and headed out to find more items I need. As you've seen already, this mod adds spells to the game, although it's also got custom Deepwoken weapons and armors, and as well as that you can also parry nearly any incoming damage, and you get the option to power up in exchange for 20 levels, giving you an extra heart, which can be done up to 20 times. The most notable feature of this mod is if you die, you don't lose your items. Instead, you go into the depths, which is full of monsters, and dying there results in you completely wiping your inventory, levels, power, everything, making it a super dangerous place. There's also layer 2, which contain much stronger enemies, as well as custom bosses, which you'll see much later on. Another feature is that overworld mobs drop iron and gold, and nether mobs drop diamonds and netherite scraps. However, I didn't realize the latter, which is why I'm still in the caves like a loser looking for diamonds. Now I'd say I intentionally went to the depths looking for obsidian and ender pearls, but in reality, I just got two-shot by another corrupt baby zombie. This thing's so overpowered. But I wanted to go here anyway, so I didn't complain.
Well, this was not the plan, but I'll make it work. I can get ender pearls and obsidian from the depths, so I'll just stay here then. I'm pretty sure the owl shot the most, so I'll focus on them. Oh, what is this? Ignition Deep Crusher? I don't know what to get rid of. Does that have a critical attack? Oh, it does. Damn. That's insane. Okay. Wait, 20 attack damage? That's like double a netherite sword. Holy. Let's see. 1, 2. That did 2 shots of charcoal? Nah, that's crazy. This might be better than the deep spindle I got last time. Right, I've got more than enough. It's time to leave then go to the nether. Alright, let's see what's actually around me then. Oh, is that a fortress? Okay. I'm going straight there.
Originally I went to the nether just to get blaze rods and wither skulls. However, I didn't realize that the wither skeletons drop diamonds at this point. So I spent until day 17 collecting as much diamonds as I could, preparing myself against the wither, which I was planning to fight on day 25. I also got a few song fragments which I used to wish for a new resonance, as payback seemed to be bugged. I also used them to get some enchant stones, which allow you to apply any enchant without restriction, which allowed me to create some insanely powerful gear, especially when I managed to get the upgraded version later. One thing I wanted to do before I fought the wither was finally put my infinite hero of the village to good use. So I built a little trading hall under the village and collected a few very willing participants to begin trading with. Now you might be wondering why I'm bothering with villagers if I can just use the Shrine of Creation to get any enchant I want, and it's because of what happened during my last attempt on this mod. The dragon fight took me so long, I ended up running through like countless sets of armor, so I wanted to have mending on every piece of gear, as well as a stock of enchant bottles to repair my gear during the fight. So after getting some emeralds through stick trades, I got some more useful villagers that I was going to use for later, or was about to use, until I made a massive mistake.
Oh, they're spawning iron golems now. Might as well put them out of misery. Oh, did I hit a villager? I think they hit a villager. Oh, shit. They're gonna hate me now. Do I dare look at the damage? What? 1 emerald to 25? Are you joking? Even with Hero of the Village, they're charging 25 rates. 25 times rates? That's so bad. Oh my god. Hopefully they forget about this soon. Well, I might as well try and get a mending villager anyway. What? Power 1 for 64 emeralds? Are we dead ass? Oh, I made a mistake. I made a grave mistake.
Despite the insanely hiked up prices, I reluctantly locked in the trade and got a mending book, hoping that they'd go back down to normal prices later. However, we were nearly at day 25, meaning I had to set up for the wither, and since I didn't want to risk my home being destroyed, I went to the depths to fight it instead. Before I could spawn the wither though, I got what was quite possibly the turning point in this world. The Storm's Eye, a gun with pretty decent damage, allowing me to do quick, consistent damage from range, which is very useful against bosses like the Wither and the Ender Dragon, which we'll see later. And at this point, I was severely underestimating just how useful this weapon would be.
Alright, so we're in the depths. It's day 25, so I am ready to fight the Wither. Let's see how good the Storm's Eye actually is then. Oh my god, look at his health bar go down. No way it's at half health already. This is insane. Alright, Ignition Deep Crusher now. That was one of the quickest Wither fights ever.
Yep, that Wither got destroyed. And with the Wither down, I wanted to explore even more of the depths. There's an item in this mod called the Void Heart, which allows you to teleport from the overworld to the depths. However, the most useful feature of this item is that with a little bit of gold, you can make it into a light hook, which allows you to teleport into the second layer of the depths. So I created a light hook and went straight into layer 2, which is a snowy wasteland filled with much stronger monsters than seen in the first layer. Which is exactly what I needed, since the stronger the mob, the higher the chances it drops a song fragment, and I needed a lot of song fragments. So I spent a few days here until I got what I needed, and then used the light hook to get back out, and continued my preparations. I either forgot to press record, or accidentally deleted what happened between days 27 and 31, but there's a trial that you can get from the Shrine of Creation, which, after completing, unlocked a few more wishes. The trial was just to get 30 levels, so you didn't miss much, but it did unlock a new enhanced enchant stone, which adds 1 to the regular enchant cap, giving me enchants like sharpness 6 and I'm breaking 4, and along with the ability to bypass regular enchants, I was able to make this monstrosity of an armor set. I also wished for a bunch of levels, allowing me to get to maximum power, giving me 3 rows of hearts, so I felt more than ready to fight the dragon and set off for the stronghold. However, right when I was about to go in, I remembered something I'd forgotten. I forgot to bring strength potions and enchant bottles, which from my last experience with the dragon seemed like crucial items to me, so I had to go back and get some. This time, when I got back to the portal, I was truly ready to fight the dragon.
I just gotta keep breaking the crystals and deal damage. I'm about a quarter of the way through. Come on, come on. This Storm's Eye is letting me get some good damage. I should get it to half health soon. What the? I should be able to kill it this time. Come on. Come on, get to half health. Get to half health. Come on, it's half health. I don't know why it's purging for so long. Why is it purging for so long? I have no clue, but I'm gonna take it. I'll take the damage. I'll take the damage. Alright, that's it. The lightning. That means it's phase 2. Now it's all down to whether I can out-damage the healing. It's applying Wither now? Please, take more damage. Come on. Come on, it's so close, come on. It's applying levitation now? Alright, that's gotta be like the last phase or something. What the fuck? It put me on half a heart. I did not expect it to do that. I almost died. I mean, if I died after all that, I would have been so mad. Alright, it's punching again. I've got to kill it this time. I've got to kill it this time. Die, die, die. Yes! Yes, I did it. I did it. What the hell is that? What is this? Dragon skin? Get it out of here. Oh my god. Holy, that was a long fight. Oh my god, the Storm's Eye carried me so hard. If I didn't have the Storm's Eye, I don't know how I would have done that without the like consistent damage that was giving me. I've got 2 more things I want to do before day 50, and one of them is getting an Elytra, so I'm going straight into the end cities.
And with the dragon dead, the end city was opened up, and I began searching out for an Elytra. And on day 47, I found one, and headed back as quick as possible, because time was running out for the final challenge. As I needed to get a total of 22 netherite ingots before the time ran out. However, since the custom mobs in the nether drop netherite scraps, this is much easier to achieve than in vanilla Minecraft. But what could I possibly need 22 netherite ingots for, you might be wondering? Well, there's one more set of armor I haven't obtained yet, and each piece requires 4 netherite ingots total to craft, making a total of 16 ingots just for the armor. But I said I needed 22. The other 6 are to craft the Grimoire of the Crimson Contract, an item used to summon the Chaser boss, who, once you defeat, opens a gateway to the final floor of the depths, the Sleeping City, which is home to the most dangerous monsters in the mod, which are the only source of the final item I need, these medallions. However, since I'm ridiculously overpowered, these monsters stood no chance, so I sped through collecting enough medallions and then left the depths one last time.
Alright, I've got everything I need for my final mission. I need 4 pluripotent alloys, which need 4 netherite ingots and 4 medallions. And then I should be able to use the smithing table to upgrade my armor. Yes, okay. There we go. Oh wait, it doesn't work on the night variant. Okay. Alright, there we are. Okay, one more. And done. Now we have the full Deepwoken armor set. I was meant to get an achievement. I don't know what happened. What is this? Hang on. Yeah, look, cover me in medallions. Wait, I didn't get the cover me in debris either? What? Okay, that's probably why I didn't get it. But anyway, that was the final challenge for these 50 days. Completed. I look so sick. Look at this. With a crit blade. Oh yeah.
So with that, I'd finished everything I set out to achieve, and there was nothing left to do but watch the sun set on the world on this final day.